discussion for the module 8. Before I will forget, so I have already published the first quiz and second quiz of yours, the C-Trick number 1 and number 2. So for the C-Trick number 1, okay, so this is also part on the video. So I have mentioned the things that you need to change. So the conductor right here should be inductor, the same with the result. The conductor right here should be inductor. Okay, so everything that you will need is already in here. Okay, so the formulas for you to be able to get those those results if you have this kind of input, right? So that's it for the C-Trick number 1. And yeah, again, so submit only RAR or zip file. Okay, so I have also showed to you guys on how to compress a file. Okay, and then what folder is you're going to compress. Okay, because inside of that folder, there's another folder. Okay, so the folder that you should compress is the main folder. All right, not just the inner or the inside folder. Okay, so it should be the entire program. Okay, and for the C-Trick number 2, so this one is a lot easier than C-Trick number 1. So yeah, pretty much all of the information that you will need for you to be able to get the result is already in here. Okay, so there's only 2 questions. So what is the area and then the circumference? Okay, so you have 2 inputs and then 2 outputs. So one input is the A and then another input is the B. So your outputs or outcomes should be the area and the circumference. All right, so again, submit only RAR or zip file. Okay, so are we clear so far regarding with C-Trick number 1 and 2? Hello, can you guys hear me? So any question or clarification so far? None? No question? Hello, hello. Andiyan ba kayo, guys? Feels like I have only one student. Okay, so I only have 2. How about the others? Okay, Mr. Fergeline or Miss Fergeline. Okay, coming from Mr. Zadrex. So Zadnan, Crystalline Patalan. So Miss Crystalline Patalan also. Are you guys sure? This is quite strange, actually. You know, you should have a lot of questions, especially that this is your first time in programming. Okay. So in module 7, no question at all on that entire 3-hour and 45-minute video, unless you guys haven't or didn't watch it yet. Okay, so that's why you don't have any question. Anyway, all right, so that's it for the seat work number 1 and 2. And for the lab number 7 and 8, so I have also mentioned this one already last meeting. So for the lab number 7, this is the interface only of your pizza ordering system. Okay, so just submit the interface, so you don't need to program anything. Okay, so program will follow soon. And for the lab number 8, right here, okay. So just create the interface for now. So the only thing that you need to take note is this one is a tab bar or menu tab bar. Okay. So the first one is series. So this is another tab. And then the second one is another tab, which is parallel. So that's another connection with this one. So upon clicking the parallel tab, it will show this kind of circuit. Okay. And then for the last one, it's a combination of series and parallel. All right. So in here, you can actually take a screenshot of this one, or just use your snipping tool to get the image itself for the series, and then image for the parallel, and then the image for the combination. All right. And then some of the program or some of the code is already on the module 1. Okay, so just tweak it into its accordance with the circuit diagram. Okay, so these are just basic diagram when it comes to parallel. So searching for some articles on how to solve a parallel circuit and series circuit is easy. Okay, so that will be part of your task. So to search and learn how to add a series connection and how to add a parallel connection. And the same with combination, how to add a series parallel connection. All right, so are we clear so far regarding with your lab number 1 and 2? So no question? You guys sure? All right, so again, if you guys have a question or clarification in the future, so feel free to message me anytime to my Canvas account or to my Facebook account. All right. So yeah, that's it for the lab number 7 and 8. Okay. And the next module, so supposedly we will discuss this one next week. Okay. But we will just start it now. Okay. We'll start it discussing now because this one is quite long also. So I'm not sure if we can finish this one today until tomorrow, or it will reach up to next week. So yeah, the earlier the better. So that's the reason why we are now starting the week 5 instead of next week. All right. So in here, I have also prepared 3 quizzes. So as you guys can see, third quiz, fourth quiz, and fifth quiz. So those 3 quizzes came from module 8. All right. So just check the sample problem number 3, and then sample problem number 4, and then the exercise number 4. Okay. Anyway, the instruction is also in here. So just verify this one on which slide you can find this instruction, sample problem number 3, and then sample problem number 4. And for the last one is the exercise number 4, which is for the case statement. So anyway, we will go over on those quizzes of yours later on. Okay, we're discussing the module 8. And yeah, I have also prepared a case study or this discussion. So just check this one. This one is super simple, very short, and then just a simple question. Okay, so make sure to give your comment or opinion regarding with this one. Okay, this is also 3 points. All right, and then I have also prepared some practices where, well, this not really programming. This is multiple choice or more on knowing the concept of Visual Basic. But yeah, try to answer this one, just to recall or just to practice on how to do things or how programming works in Visual Basic. Okay. And I have prepared one video. Okay. So this is one YouTube video. Oops. Let me just edit this one. Yeah, there you go. So I have prepared one video. Okay, so this is a YouTube video. So just click this one and then it will lead you to a video tutorial. Okay, so this one, this guy will discuss the if statements, else, if, else, and then decision structures. Okay, or more or less if statements. Okay, so soon I will add the case statement. So that is the counterpart of the if statements. All right, so make sure to check this one also. And what else? So yeah, I guess that's it. And then the PDF of our module 8. So make sure to download this one also so that you can have your own copy. And yeah, I guess that's it for the short intro with your module 8. All right, so are you guys ready now to listen with our discussion in module 8? Okay, so there's only one student who's ready, so Mr. Flores. So I hope the others are also ready. All right, so Miss Eliza is also ready. All right, so let us start now. So as you guys can see, this one is module 2 because this is the second module on the finals. Okay, so the module 7 is actually the module 1. Okay, but just to follow the numberings of our module, so I've decided to name this one module 8 and module 7 for the last module. Okay, to avoid confusion. All right. So yeah, so the topic for the day is mainly visual basic branching. So if statement and then a case statement. Okay, and then the others are just extras in how those branching works. All right, so without a further delay, what is branching statements? So branching statements are used to cause certain actions within a program if a certain condition is met. Okay, so to be exact, we have two parts when it comes to branching statement. Okay, so we have the condition and then the argument. So if the condition were met, then say if the condition is true, then the argument will be executed. However, if the condition is not true, so it is false, then the argument will not be executed. So as simple as that. All right. So let's have this figure, okay, or let's say, or syntax on how if statements work. So we have the condition. Okay, so if and then the condition. So it depends on your program. What condition is that? So let me just give you guys an example. For example, if your age is 18 and above, okay, then you can go or you can yeah, you can go inside to a bar. Okay, because of course 17 of age or less than that is not allowed to enter a bar. But if your age is 18 and above, then it will be true or yes. Then this statement or argument will be executed. Like, for example, you will be able to enter to the bar. But if your age is not more than 18, say you will fall onto the no statement or no condition. Okay, then so you have to write another statement right here wherein you will not be able to enter to the bar. Okay, so as simple as that. So if the statement is true, then it will lead you to yes statement or yes condition. Oops. If the condition is false, then it will lead you to false statements or false arguments. All right. So in here we have the syntax. So very simple. The yellow one that you can see right here is a constant syntax, so it will never change. So that's how you write if else statement or if statement. So we have the if followed by the condition and then followed by the statement or argument. So again, I repeat, if this one is true, then the statement will be executed. But if the statement is not true, then nothing will happen. Okay, this will not be executed. All right. So are we clear so far? We're going with this statements or if statements.
Yes, sir.
All right. So again, if you guys have a question, so just ask me anytime, all right? Okay, so we have here some examples. Okay, so here's the thing. You don't need to analyze or you don't need to know what is the output. Okay, so this is just basically an example. All right. So we have here the condition and then the statement. The condition, the statement, the condition, the statement. Again, if the condition is true, if this is true, okay, if balance is less than 0, then this function or this code will be executed. Okay, simple as that. If this is false, then this will not be executed or nothing will happen. All right, so the same with this one. If a minus b is greater than 10, then c is equal to that square root times a squared plus b squared will be executed. Okay, but if this is not true, then nothing will happen. This will not be executed. Okay, and then for the last one, of course, if this is true, text box one the text is equal to invalid, then text box one that focus. Okay, so the same uh, scenario. Okay, if this is true, then this will be executed. However, if this is false, then this will not be executed. All right, so let's have a real example for you to be able to appreciate what are those if and then. Okay, so we have here sample problem number 1. So write a V program that allows the user to input an integer. So if the value is greater than or equal to 0, display the message positive using a message box. All right, so before we are only using text boxes. So to those who have already started doing their programming, okay, so we are only showing our outputs in text boxes. But this time we will try to uh, uh, show our output using a message box. All right. Okay, so let me just open a new project. Test project. Okay. All right, so I have here a new project. So this is blank. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is what you will see if you are going to start or if you're going to create a new project. So it will give you a blank interface. Okay, so the thing that we need is a label. Okay, this is a label, and this is a text box, and the last one is a button. Okay, so we need a label. So in my case, I mostly type it right here. So I don't look for it manually. So if you know the name, just type it right here. So it will be faster. So label and then hit enter, and then the label will pop up here. All right. So very small. Let me just make this one bigger. So look for the font and then the font style and then the font size. Then right here, you can change the font size. So make it 25. And we need text box. So text box, just type text box and then right here. So you can double click this one, okay, and then it will pop up on the upper left of the design interface, or you can just simply drag this one, okay, like this. So anywhere of your interface, and then remove your left click button. Okay, so it's drag and drop. So right here, oops. So right here, we have the text box. So as you guys can see, this is a one-line text box only. So to make this one multi-line, so just click this one, the play button on the text box, and just highlight or check the multi-line. Because in that case, you can now resize this one to your preference. Okay, so I would like the size of my text box to be like this. And then I will also change the font size of this one because no matter how big the size of your text box, if the font size of that text box is small, then you won't be able to see it. So I'll change this one also into 25. Okay, and then the last one is button. So just type button, and then you will write below the word button, then just drag and drop it right here, and then resize it. And then the same, I'll also edit the font size into 25 to make it much more better to say. All right, so let's go back right here. So it says here, write a B program that allow the users to input an integer. So in here, again, we have a restriction. So we can only input an integer. Well, we can input a decimal, but it will not be read as a decimal. So it will only be read as an integer, okay? So in that case, we have to declare that one as integer, all right? So if you want this one to accept a decimal, then you have to declare that one as decimal, okay, or as single or as double, okay. So by now you should already know those kind of call this one type of variables, okay. So we have integer for whole numbers only, we have single for smaller range of decimals, we have double, which is double of that single, and then the decimal, which is quite large already for a decimal number, right? And then we even have long, okay, which is bigger, but mostly decimal is already enough. All right, and if the value is greater than or equal to 0, okay, then we have to display positive. So according to this program, 0 is also positive, okay? Well, since you're the ones doing the program, so there's no limitation. You can even start at -1, okay? So -1 and above will be displayed as positive. However, that is already wrong. But since you're the master of your program, you can do that one, of course, right? But in here, of course, we will start at 0 and above. Right, so to do that one, okay, actually we already have the result in here, but I'll just do it step by step. Okay, so the thing that you need to program in here is the button. Okay, why the button? Because it will only be initiated, okay, or it will only work once you have clicked the button. All right. So first, let me just change the name of this one. So what is the name? Input number. Input number and then test. So to change the text label one, just look for the text, okay, on the properties. So text and then label one. So from label one into input a number. And then for the button, so just look for the text also, and then change this one into test. All right, I'll be correct with that one. Input a number, input number. All right. So now you can now proceed in double clicking this one. So just double click the button, and then it will lead you to your coding area, okay, to your form1.bb. So this is another tab for your coding section. So the other one is for your interface, and this is where you program things, okay. So in here, we have to declare a variable, okay. So let's say x this num, okay. Num so we will declare this one as integer since it is what the instruction told us. So we should only accept integer, okay, or whole numbers, okay. And then we have to pass the value, okay, as the value of your text box one, okay, that text into the number, okay. So what is this text box one that text? So in here, this is our text box wherein you will see right here on the properties, we have here text box one. So that is the name or the address of this text box one. So basically, we are just passing, okay, the value of the text box one to our variable num. Okay, so whatever is a value, okay, of the text box one, that text will be passed to our variable num. So it's always from right to left. All right, so that's how our program works in Visual Basic. Okay, so again, let me just show this one. Text box one, the text is not the same with this one. So text box one, the text is equal to num. So those two are two different things. So in here, you're asking to have a value in text box1.text, and then will be passed on the num. And in here, you're also passing the value of num into text box1.text, wherein if you will do this one, okay, this fifth line of code, you will get an error, okay, because initially num doesn't have a value, okay. So that is why if you will pass the value of num to text box1.text, it will give you an error since num doesn't have a value. All right. So that's the difference between those two. All right. So right here we have num is equal to text box1.text, and that is now where condition will be followed. So if num, oops, if num is greater than -1, okay, since we will start with 0 and above, right? Greater than -1. Yeah. So you can use greater than -1, or you can use greater than or equal to 0. So those two are just the same. Okay. But in my case, I will just use greater than -1. Okay. Then message box, closing up in parentheses, and then followed by the double apostrophe, and then we will display positive. Right, so there you go. We only have 7 lines of code. Okay. So again, if this is true, then this argument will be executed. But if this one is false, then this one will not be executed. All right, so let's try to run this program. So just click start or F5. Okay, so just wait a second. So in here, we'll put a number. So if we say 1 and then just click test, it will give us positive, of course. If I'll change this 1 into 0 and then click test, of course, it will also give us positive because we have the condition greater than -1. However, if this is -1, so as you guys can see, nothing's happened. Okay, nothing will happen since uh, this is not true. Not it will this condition. I mean, this statement will not be executed. Okay. So later on, we will discuss the other types of if statement, wherein if this one is false, what will it do? Okay, but that will come later. So for now, this is 1. So if it's true, this will be executed. If this is false, nothing will happen. All right. So were you guys able to follow so far? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, paano
All
pag
right.
yung output window naman sa
So
ES?
yes.
Kapag yung output window naman po yung ES, paano, ay, parang pag click yung test, kung ano yung window na lalabas, paano yung AI?
Hindi ko masyado marinig. Ano yan? Teka lang, palakasan ko yung, baka mahina yung mic ng kan ko. Yung
Sir, paano
speaker
po pag,
ng
kapag
Zoom
yung
ko.
output window naman ng i-edit?
Yung window?
Yes, sir, yung pag click yung test,
So kapag ganun yung gusto mong mangyari, if that is what you want to happen, then you don't need a button for that one. Okay. So initially, you have to double click the load. Okay. So upon loading, the codes inside will be initiated as soon as you click the start. Okay. Is that what you're asking? Wherein you don't need the test button?
yung ano sir, pag na-click yung test, di ko may pop-up ng window, sir. Paano naman pag yun ang aayusin, sir? Ano yung mga file, yan,
Ah, we're limited with that one. So we can change the information style, like, so it's on this slide right here. So we can change this information type. I mean the style of the message box. So initially it has this icon by default information. So you can also have critical. You can also have question mark if that message box is asking a question, or exclamation point, or information icon. You can even add some options for in okay, cancel, retry, ignore. However, we cannot modify what's the font size or the font style of this one. That's the only limitation. Is that your question, Mr. M. Darlson?
Okay na, sir.
So we can change the title, we can change the options, we can even change the icon, but we cannot change the font size and font style of the message. Okay, so this is the message, but we cannot change the font style or font size of this one. All right. So yun lang, maliit. It's limited to that size and that font style. All right, so any other questions so far? So as you guys can see right here, this one is in exclamation icon, wherein in my case, okay, so I think walang icon to since hindi ko naman program. Yeah, there is no icon in here since I didn't set it into any kinds of icons, or I didn't include any icons in there. All right, so any other questions so far? Parang hina ng mic, ng speaker ko. Could you please speak, Mr. M. Darlson? Or just test my speaker?
Yes, sir.
Sige pa, magsalita ka ng one sentence. Input a number. Say input a number.
Input a number.
Baka sa speaker ko na to. So, in my case, your voice feels like mumbling. Hindi siya masyadong clear. Anyway, so baka sa issue na to ng speaker ko. Alright, so since we don't have enough time anymore, so we will stop right here for now, and then we'll just continue the rest on the part 2. Alright? So nasa slide 5 pa lang tayo. Alright, so goodbye for now and see you guys in part 2.